Hey, welcome back to the Damas Land. So this is the fourth time I'm recording this because I messed up on each one. Didn't have sound and many other issues. So thank you for coming back to the about 20 people who are watching my videos. I appreciate you. I do. But today's video, we're going to be talking about, well, tax hikes and also pay increases. Not for you and me though. No, we don't really get pay increases unless our bosses have the extra money and also want to give us pay increases. So before we get into this, I just want to talk about so April 1st, this is not an April Fool's joke. We have some taxes going up again. So for the majority of Canada, carbon taxes will be going up again. And also the beer and alcohol excise tax is also going up again. That's just what's happening. Now, the other thing that's going up is pay raises for members of parliament. And the interesting thing about that is that they haven't put a freeze on their pay raises. Now, why do they get automatic pay raises every year? Well, back before 2005, every time that they wanted a pay raise, they had to bring it into the House, they had to vote on it and stuff like that. And that got a lot of criticism in the media because of many, many different reasons. So in 2005, they decided that they were going to enact a bill that would end up giving them automatic pay raises. Now, from my understanding of how these pay raises work, essentially they look at the average of Canadians and the pay increases that they got the year previous, and then they do some sort of averaging out or whatever, and then they go and get a pay raise based off of that, right? So yeah, it's not that bad of a system, I guess, right? Because then it kind of seems like it's fair at the same time as it doesn't feel like it's fair, which is exactly how the government is, right? When you feel like they're being fair to you, they're also not being very fair to you. That's just government, right? Anyway, so we're gonna watch a quick clip from the committee meeting that had Galen Weston there. Now, I am going to be making a video talking about Loblaws, Galen Weston, profits, and all that stuff. And people may not like that video that I'm going to make because I'm not going to be defending Loblaws, but I'm going to be giving as much context as I can so that people can understand that Jagmeet Singh is literally taking one little aspect, not looking at the grander picture of everything, and making a statement off it for your views, your likes, to make you happy. But with his pay raises going up, and I'm going to talk about how much money they've made extra since the pandemic started, with their pay raises increasing, that brings into a lot of question of what he's saying in this clip. Now, what he's saying in this clip, for the most part, is true. Like, it is true, and I think we should care about this. But coming from a guy who's also getting extra money, who's not giving that money away or not stopping that money from incoming, there's a lot of questions of what's going on. So let's go and take a look at this video. And oh, I got that. There we go. And see what's going on.
Right now, we're not just going through unprecedented period of cost of living crisis. We have families going into your stores, looking at the price of items, looking at them and putting them back because they can't afford them. We have families that are struggling to buy food for their kids in this country, in a G7 country. And they look at you and they see you making record profits. How can you justify that when families are struggling to put food on the table for their kids?
How can you justify that, Mr. Galen Weston? But then again, Mr. Singh, how can you justify getting a pay raise year over year, not trying to stop it whatsoever, when Canadians are struggling, when Canadians have to put things back on the shelves and choose the cheaper options, when they can't have milk or eggs for their children? God forbid they even try to buy bacon because bacon's so freaking expensive these days. How can you justify pay raises year over year, with this year actually being the biggest pay raise that you're going to get? How can you justify that, Jagmeet Singh? And also, how can you justify cutting down at least one tree just to be able to print out random, oh, let's pause that, random questions that people had sent you, 2,000 questions in this bundle that he tried pawning off on Galen Weston. Now, like I said, I'm going to be making a video about this. I'm going to talk about all this because he might have actually been breaching privacy and security of Canadians with that. And that's actually kind of funny because I never actually saw the conclusion with that. But let's go back to, let's talk about this real quick and I'll make this the normal size. All right. So back in 2020, there was some talk about, MPs getting pay raises. And essentially, carbon tax is going up when, the pandemic just hit. That didn't get stopped, and they were already making $178,000. And then they got a pay increase of $2,800. So that's in 2020. Now in 2021, they, booze, carbon taxes and everything like that were to increase. And down here, they ended up getting $3,200. And then we go to 2022, which is just last year, and they got $3,700. There we go. You can see it there. $3,700 is what they ended up getting with the carbon tax and all these other things being increased on Canadians. When this is right when we really started to hurt because inflation started going up, and they kept doing it. And then again this year, all of those same things are still increasing and making it more and more unaffordable for us to live. And I'm not getting a pay raise this year, I don't think, because last year was pretty tough for our business. Are you getting a pay raise this year? I don't know. I mean, do you have to get a new job just so you can make more money? And the question is, are you actually going to make more money because of everything that's going on? But this year, backbenchers like Jagmeet Singh will be getting $5,100 extra in pay raise. Now let's talk about how much money that means that they actually got in the last 3 years. So up until today, because it's not April 1st yet, so if you're watching this after April 1st of 2023, I'm talking about pre-April 1st, 2023. They would have gotten $14,900 extra from the Canadian people. There are some seniors who make less than that every year. There are some people who are struggling to survive and even find something to eat that make less than that every year. Now, granted, this is how much the pay raises accumulated over those last 3 years. So if they would have stopped their pay raises in in March of 2020, if they would have stopped their pay raises back then for the foreseeable future, they would have been $15,000 short right now. And over across, 300 people, 300 plus people, that's a pretty significant number. That's in the millions. Now, would that actually help us? Maybe not, but it would have been a it would have been a gesture to the Canadian people that we are here for you. We're not going to take pay raises until every Canadian has the opportunity to be able to get a pay raise. That's how they could have marketed that. The other way they could have marketed is like, these next couple years are going to be tough. So instead of us getting pay raises, we're going to stop those pay raises so we can feel what you're feeling, even though we make $10,000 a month minimum. We want to feel what you guys are feeling by not getting those pay raises. Even though some people are getting pay raises, we're not going to get those pay raises because we need to be more like you to understand what an actual Canadian is going through in this time. But that's not what they did. So then when we take a look at this, what are they going to be making at the end of this next fiscal year? Because we're adding another $5,100 on top of the total. Now, if we just do some, basic math, that would say $20,000. Well, that's not true, because, 14,900 plus 51 is $20,000. That's not what it is. What it is so far they've made $14,900. So then you go and you add on, I'm actually going to do the math here while we're talking. So $2,800, right? All right. So then we add another $3,200 times 2, because there's no, it's not times 2. Plus $3,700. So I messed up with my math, and it was actually, up until today, they've made an extra $18,500 before taxes. I just redid the math and I got it completely wrong. So $18,500 up until today's date, that's how much money they've made extra since then. Now we're going to do the math where we're going to add, let's see, an extra $2,800 for the first year, plus an extra $3,200 for the second year, plus $3,700 for the third year, plus $5,100. So that's $33,300 at the end of this next fiscal year that they would have made since the beginning of the pandemic. That is some people's yearly income that they would have made in the past 4 years extra that they didn't make previous. Now, that is Jagmeet Singh. Now, $33,000 from one person, maybe down in Burnaby South, where he's from, may actually do a significant amount. It might actually help quite a few different people. But let's take a look at what Justin Trudeau has made, because he's double. He made $66,600. Oh, 666. Doesn't that make sense? So at the end of this next year, fiscal year, that's how much money Justin Trudeau would have extra in his pocket. That is more than I make before taxes. And that is more than a lot of people make before taxes that he put extra into his pocket because he didn't pause the raise increases. Anyway, so this just give you an idea of what's going on right now and what's going to be happening on April 1st. So if you like this content, please hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell, do all that stuff. You don't have to. I'm not your mother. I'm definitely not Justin Trudeau, so I can't control you. But why don't you, if you want to check out my future videos, especially the one with Galen Weston and Loblaws and all that stuff, do that. But if you don't want to, just check back in a few days or in a week or so, and you'll be able to see all the content that I'm hoping I'll be able to bring to you, hopefully on a daily basis, but we'll see how my life pans out. Anyways, you have yourself a wonderful day.